You all know about the situation with Kyrie Irving. This Kyrie Irving situation, in my opinion, was allowed to happen in this particular time because of the brouhaha that was stirred up.
So as you know, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley have both called Kyrie Irving idiots. And of course, Vicky Dillard, formerly associated with Boyce Watkins, made a pretty interesting rant about buck-broken Negroes. Now, I wanna know if you guys agree with this rant that we're about to hear. Before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell and be notified for more content like this. And let's get into the video.
Share this broadcast. Let me tell you something, family. You all know about the situation with Kyrie Irving. This Kyrie Irving situation, in my opinion, was allowed to happen in this particular time because of the brouhaha that was stirred up by Ye, formerly known as Kanye. Now, folks can say all day long, as I've said before, that they're upset with Ye for what they deem to be disrespectful, anti-black antics. But we have to take some of that with a grain of salt. We can call him out for those particular things, but what makes Ye a different raccoon, somebody talk black to me, than the Candace Owens and all the other ones, what makes him a different raccoon, and to be honest with you, any other black person that's on any political side, very few call him a raccoon, but make sure that you include this stipulation. He's a raccoon that called out some of the most voracious anti-black predatory forces. That's one distinction you cannot give to any other raccoon. Call him a raccoon, but call him a raccoon that called out anti-black forces that are responsible for not only our chattel slavery and Jim Crow, but also modern anti-black exploitations through the music industry, through arts and entertainment, and so many other areas of people activity. Let me say this about Shaq and Charles Barkley sitting their funny looking selves on television, dogging our brother Kyrie. People are sitting up here acting like Kyrie did not have the right to share a link about a documentary about the Black Hebrews. Family, just like during slavery, just like during Jim Crow, they did not want us to read. It was illegal. It was the United States legal policy that black folks weren't supposed to read. And to the extent we were given information, they wanted to control what we read, what we heard, what we saw. Yes? So when you begin with your beautiful big black brain to think for yourself, remove the middleman, and not rely on the corruption of our history books and our religious books, on the corruption of all forms of media, you see. It is a problem because though the physical chains in some instances have been removed, the remote control chains by which they impose economic sanctions on black people to control them, and they use the media to bring to bear pressure to put you in line. These are chains, you see. So they're losing control, remote control. Do not fear the backstabbing and the attempts to buck break our brother Kyrie using black looking people. As you know, during
Buck breaking Kyrie with using, but okay, I can see where she's going with this. I don't disagree with all of it at all. I think she's making some strong points. Let me talk about this. You brothers out there who you have jobs and you get paid a lot of money from these jobs. You can't tweet certain things when you have 15 million followers, when you have endorsements, you're an NBA player, I'm just going to be real. Look at Colin Kaepernick, right? So these guys that have these positions, and again, Kyrie, and this is right after this thing happened to Kanye West, like during the same time. So when you don't own the teams and you do it, why do it when you have to? Again, sharing the link. I mean, this is why you need to have people that look at stuff before you do it. Then you do it. Okay, he didn't say anything bad about any particular group, but then you're gonna come out and apologize. You have to come out and apologize now. Because you know why? You don't own the team. You don't have ownership. So when you work for people, you need to make, especially the athletes need to have, before they tweet stuff, they need to have somebody check their stuff out. Hey, can I tweet this? Hey, can I post this? Because what's the use of doing it if you're gonna have to apologize and lose money behind it? Because you're not paying yourself. You work for people. Adidas, Kanye. He was a billionaire tied to Adidas. He wasn't off the grid. If he's off the grid, he can say a little bit more what he want to say, but he's not.
People. As you know, during times of slavery and so many other instances, they always tried to use a black person to also bear the whip, you see.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. The reason they're pulling out Shaq's, he's a big trick. Repeat after me. He's a big black trick. Yes, yes. Charles Barkley is a big black trick.
Oh, definitely.
These are tools for white supremacy. They're using them, family, not because they think they're actually influential and can persuade us. They are testing just how far we have abandoned white supremacist tools. Y'all better rejoice. Don't trip. They're using Shaq, they're using Charles Barkley to dog our brother Kyrie because they want to see just how many of us are really agreeing with them. They know we're gone. They know a lot of us are leaving, but they need to know how bad it is, you see.
Going where? I mean, a lot of this, pontification, preaching type of talk, it doesn't work. Black people doing worse than we were doing back in the day, losing wealth. So where are we leaving going to? We need to be real with ourselves and stop living in La La Land, all right? The reality is that a lot of blacks don't like Shaq. This situation, didn't like what LeBron did, didn't like what Charles Barkley did. They don't like it. But guess what? Just like we saw in Chicago, it was a few years ago, I forgot, it was some sisters that went out there and they had a problem with the Asian salon. There was a brother from the Nation of Islam went out there and threw a brick through the window. They arrested the brother. While the brother was in jail, shout out to that Buy show because he actually shared the GoFundMe to help bail the brother out, right? And they raised like 30 grand. Guess what you saw the next day? Black women was walking through the glass, going in that nail shop, getting their nails done in Chicago. And similarly, what you're gonna see with this, black people waking up, no, they're not. They will be back buying Nikes, even though Kyrie, we will still be buying Jordans. We will still be doing what? Watching ESPN, still playing NBA 2K. So waking up going where? We gotta stop lying to ourselves. Because the reason why we're not waking up and going nowhere is because we have too much pontification and we don't have no real results. We don't have people working together in the communities and we have community-based solutions that give black people an opportunity and a benefit as to why we need to work together. But we keep having these sermons like this that don't lead to nothing. That makes you feel good about yourself, but it does nothing. It's a lot of pontification, Umar, Vicky Dillard style. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And we can't keep lying to ourselves. We need to actually do the work in these communities. We have to educate the people and then reward the people with incentivization. We don't incentivize our people enough for them to stay loyal to us. And we want to come out and get mad when we don't do the work. That's all we're saying. So we got to get somebody to come and pontificate to us.
They need to know what other tactics and schemes they need to put into play because they've already lost control. You see?
They ain't lost control. They're in full control. They don't need to, they already know what is going on. They can predict it. They've been studying blacks for years. Be real.
In politics, they're bringing in Latinos, Hispanics. They're bringing in Asians so that they can be allies with white supremacists. Yes, they're giving them benefits and stuff, though we who created the country to which many of these folks come to, America would not exist. We brought it to bear. But they haven't given us one red cent in reparations, yes. But they are allowing other folks to get all kinds of benefits that actually belong to us. I got to get ready to jump out, fam.
So we brought the country to bear. That's a controversial thing. And that's true. We have made a great contribution to the country, for sure. We shaped the United States in many ways. But the problem is we brought the country to bear for somebody else. We don't know how to do it for ourselves. Because if we did know how to do it for ourselves, then we would have. We were making progress in doing it, and then Jim Crow, because we were forced to do it, but we don't know how to do it anymore. That's why reparations arguments are so strong. I believe in reparations, but then again, one of the reasons why we do it is because with the spending power going up, with the more blacks in the professional ranks, with the blacks having a spending power of $1.6 trillion, the black dollar stays in the black community for 6 hours. We don't know how to build for ourselves. We don't know how to build communities anymore. We've lost our way. That's the point.
Our family. So I'm telling you not to fear. I'm telling you don't trip because of the trick, the big black tricks that are Shaq and Charles Barkley. They're testing us because they know they're in trouble. They know they don't have a lot of tools, black-looking tools that they can depend on. You understand? Thank you. They know they don't have a lot of other tricks that they can rely on. So this is a test. And so we can show them better than we can tell them. Yes, family? And what we're going to do is continue to cause them to lose impact and influence, just like the Democratic Party is losing impact and influence. Why are they freaking out right now? Because enough of us have scared them to death that they are afraid that they're going to lose congressional seats and lose power. The Democrats.
They're not afraid of you.
They laughed at our influence. They laughed and they mocked our content over the past several years to expose both sides of white supremacy in both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. Yes? So we're going to continue to see. We're going to continue to give Shaq and Charles Barkley that everlasting work. We don't take our orders from black-looking people, and we certainly don't take our orders from white people that put up their black-looking people to dictate to us what we listen to, what we read, and what we hear. It is a new day. Nobody tells us what to do.
Is it? Who most of your fans, subscribers work for? They're not off the grid. Yes, they do tell, we gotta be real. One of the things about pro-blacks or whoever else is that we're not being honest. We are working in the United States for many white companies, okay? There are laws. When we go to the court, if you get a traffic ticket, you don't go to the black courts. We're not governing ourselves. So if we want to govern ourselves, we need to make plans that make sense. Stop with the emotional babble making black people like, we don't take no order for the white man. And that's the guy who installs your cable. Or he makes the laws. He makes the laws. Your kids learn through school. You learn through his book. You learn his story, not your story. So we need to stop we gotta be real so that way we can have community-based driven solutions. Because if we talking like this, then you feel like everything is okay because you're being preached to. And then so you can send somebody a cash app. No, your kids are being taught about alternative lifestyles and other stuff in school that you can't, control, and you can't discipline your kids. That's right, because you don't run the system, they do. So that way, if we're being real with ourselves, we understand the community-based driven solutions we need to create to keep our things intact. But when you talk like this, it's like we don't have any problems.
Nobody gets to drop seeds to tell us this is how we should think. We have an unwavering belief in our own intelligence. We are the original people. That is to say that because we're the original people, let me turn this back. Because we're the original people, we're the mothers and fathers of the rest of them. We know what we're talking about.
And how do you explain that the rest of them is beating our group when we came first? See, things like that we need to stay away from because it's emotional arguments that don't mean anything in today's time, right now. We're the original people, absolutely. What is that doing for us right now? Nothing. So we're the fathers of y'all, although y'all own everything. Imagine that. You had a head start on a group of people and then they're beating you right now. So why even use an argument? Again, it's a bunch of emotional pontification and Negro babble that don't make any sense. It's not undergirded in any solutions, anything that brings up productivity. And so when you're not productive and you can't produce anything, you say stupid stuff like this that don't make any sense. This is the most unintellectual things I'm hearing in a long time. It's actually, in my opinion, quite stupid to talk like this, right? It's coming from the right place, but it doesn't make any sense. Black people gotta make sense. Where's the work? Where's your productivity? You gotta get out there and produce things. Produce better families, give people the reason to produce, give them incentives, establish your networks, fund your schools. These are practical things. Talking like this and like Umar a lot of times is just talking to hear yourself talk. Stop the pontification in 2022. It's getting our people nowhere. It makes them feel good and they go back and they lose everything. They have no wealth, they have nothing. Just pontificating every goddamn day. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.